not a YouTuber, just like making videos. And I'm going to proceed on with my Solutions to Crime series. Initially, I wanted to talk about our improvements to our justice system, to punishment. You know what I'm saying? Alternative ways to punish violators of the law. But hence, this whole legalizing cocaine thing, there's some things I still want to touch up on, and some new information that I came across and so forth. But everybody keep talking about real talk videos and so forth. But nobody watches them. But it's okay though, because at the end of the day, bear in mind, I make the type of videos that can change the world. I'm like, where's Tommy's video on the drug war? Where's David Carl and Painless video on this, man? You're not gonna get that kind of information from their channel, because they are dishonest and they're really just about views and so forth. You know what I'm saying? Molding the popular trends. I don't mold the popular trends, and I dare anybody to ever try to rebuke one of my videos or whatever. I'll come back and I'll completely annihilate them. Now, it's funny. It's funny that I've come across an article. Here's a picture. Here's a picture of a young woman, Tarika Wilson here. And it's funny that I come across this article that was published, I think today or yesterday in the Huffington Post. And it's about innocent people that were killed, during the, killed because of this drug war that we have going here. Tarika Wilson was killed by, some gun-ho agent or whatever. And there's in this article you'll see 13 people innocent people that were killed by Narcotics Task Force and so forth. Interesting article. Make sure you check that out. Also, that article goes into how this ridiculous drug war is creating parentless children and so forth. So yeah, that's interesting. That's the thing with the drug war. We're gonna have these gun-ho agents or whatever, these cowboys. Just like any war, you're gonna have a whole lot of casualties there. And in some of these drug raids, some officers are shot by friendly fire. I'm like, what the fuck, man? And that's the thing. But you gotta look at the taxpayers' money. I'm like, the thing is, even if you feel that drugs should be legal or whatever, all the money that they're getting from the drug dealers are being mismanaged. I'm like, the way this war is handled, it's not handled properly and so forth. They're killing innocent bystanders to snag some drug dealer that'll probably only do 5, 10 years. That's if he cops a plea. So is it worth it? And so forth. But hence, this series isn't about ultimately helping the black community. Actually, it was, legal. It's talking about legalizing cocaine. Legalizing recreational drugs. Now, I don't care too much about meth and all them other wacky drugs or whatever. You can put all the meth heads in concentration camps for all I care. Yeah. The thing is with cocaine, one of the main reasons why I feel that it should be legalized, one, it used to be legal. And and two, the war on drugs is a war on black people, or you can say a war on poor people. Particularly black and brown people, but I hate that term, black and brown. I just say, blacks and Mexicans and Latinos. And in that article, even though white people were being killed by officers or whatever, the majority of them were, black and brown people. So when you're dealing with the war on drugs, when it comes to white people, it seems like literally there's a war on this substance. With us, it's the war against people selling drugs, people who look like people who sell drugs, and the neighborhoods where the drugs reside. Now, of course, legalizing it will, people may say, well, it'll open the door, a plethora of other problems, but hey, you have a neighborhood and you have dope fiends and dope dealers. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get rid of the dope dealers, and then we have the dope fiends. Now, and also this argument of making drugs legal it's already been placed on the table, but there's a reason why they won't do it and so forth. Now, in my next video in this series, I'm going to go into tactics to punish people. You know what I'm saying? We're going to say that, oh, we're not going to, drugs are going to remain legal. I'm going to talk about effective ways and so forth. Now, when we go into the problems with the black community, you know what I'm saying, and some people are going to use feminism, you know, and all this other stuff, and they're going to completely ignore drugs and the war against drugs. And I feel that is just being you're basically folding the trends at that part, because, you know, people are going to look at my video about legalizing cocaine and see it only got 50 views, and they're going to go into more shaming tactics and so forth. You know what I'm saying? That's why YouTube is a bunch of fucking bullshit. I almost lost my place here, but yeah. So we have this war that just costing the taxpayer a bunch of money. And then where's this money going? All this money that's being seized from drug raids. I can see if it was going right back into the community, but it's not, and so forth. So I don't know. It's buying dudes new boats, new cars. You know what I'm saying? The money that's being generated in the hood from drugs is going into their neighborhoods. I can see if it was staying in our neighborhoods and they say, hey, and then we get a progress report. They say, hey, we raided these guys, we obtained this amount of money, and this is the amount of money we're going to put inside the public schools and so forth for rehabilitation programs. No. You know, I'm like, it's a complete fucking farce. You know? And we always hear this thing about the crack era, the Aries. And when we look at this generation of young people now, you know what I'm saying, they're all messed up or whatever, females having kids out of wedlock and so forth. But we have to understand that a lot of these people are, this is remnants of the crack era, which that is kind of a strange saying, the crack era, because, you know, it's not like people stopped using crack. Like, they were just using all this crack back then, and they just calmed down with it. I'm like, there's still dope dealers, there's still ballers out there. So the so-called cracker is still alive and so forth. Now, when legalizing drugs, now if you say, well, we're going to legalize cocaine, but we're going to get rid of crack. You know what I'm saying? That's a good, you know what I'm saying? I'll sort of agree with that, but still, you know what I'm saying? We can, you know what I'm saying? We can have pharmaceutical companies also sell crack, you know what I'm saying, cocaine in its crack form too. And also, as I've stated before, make sure it doesn't get to the hands of children. And if somebody wants to sell drugs to a minor, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you can make those penalties harsh. And also, when people do buy drugs, have them have some sort of card, registered to get a card, and they can only buy so much ounces per day or whatever, or per week. Now, of course, you know what I'm saying, there's ways to get around. They'll get somebody else to buy their drugs and so forth. But still, it just shows you that you're putting some form of effort, you know, to minimize it and so forth. And, you know what I'm saying, like I said, you know what I'm saying, if you have pharmaceutical companies selling, it gets rid of the drug dealers, it gets rid of the ballers. That a lot of these dudes out there, it won't even be a career choice to them. Now, I know street hustlers, they're going to find other stuff. They'll hustle hot merchandise, they'll hustle rugs, they'll hustle bootlegs, they'll hustle guns. But, you know, when it comes to other stuff, you know, how many bootlegs somebody's going to buy a day? How many guns somebody's going to have to buy a day? You know, dope fiends will constantly run back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And hence, a lot of these young boys won't ruin their lives because this option simply will not be available to them and so forth. See what I mean? And a lot of these dudes that who walk this path and so forth, that want to go down this route, they create a lot of bastard children themselves. And like, women are just attracted to money and power. You know, a lot of these guys, they got between women's legs because of the drug money, you know, and the money. Now, you can say the females there are stupid, but, you know, still. You know, and I think about when people have, you know, focused, you know, a lot of attention on feminism. and I'm not a fan of feminism or whatever, but we can't just say, oh, it's because of feminism the black community went down. I'm like, come on. I think about that drug lord that was locked up in Baltimore. What's his name? Trayvon White. He was a dude who got like 3 female COs impregnated or whatever, or got 2 of them pregnant, but had an affair with 3 of them. One of them even put his put their tattoo on his back. You know, put his tattoo on her back or her shoulder or whatever. You know, now could you say these women are feminists? No, they're attracted to this dude's power. Now, are these females stupid? Are they dipsy or whatever? Are they weak? Yeah, I would say that, but we always complain about the black women need to be more submissive. But a lot of these black females are submissive to these big time ballers because one, they're because of power and because of their leadership skills. Even though they're destroying the community, you know, and one, they got money. You know, so is a female attracted to a dude because he got money? Is this part of the feminist movement? No, I think this is, you know what I'm saying? No, these are not feminist traits or whatever. But hence, if you take away drugs, and that's the main cause. I can understand people will hustle cell phones and hustle everything, but nothing like cocaine. You know, that white stuff. That's what rappers rap about and so forth. That's why when you see the people that Young Jeezy was involved with, you know, and so forth, that big, you know what I'm saying, how dudes are snitching on themselves, because that's what these narcotic task force wants. They're not really going after bootleggers or dudes that are just hawking cell phones or shit like that. They want drug money because they make money, you know what I'm saying. When they confiscate, like if a guy was to hem up a bootlegger, what would they get? Some bootlegs, the little money he makes in it. But it's not like drugs where they confiscate guns, they confiscate houses, they confiscate cars, all this other shit, you know. And none of this shit goes back to the community or whatever. It goes to their community and so forth. And then I think about when I said in my last video, my friend's father who got gunned down by drug dealers. Yeah, a lot of drug dealers, they're violent. You know, since they got this money, they got this power. You know, and I'm not saying that everybody that's out there slinging cane or whatever is willing to catch a body. I think about that movie Clockers. You know, and if you've seen it, you had like these dudes selling hand to hand. You know what I'm saying? These dudes on these dope boys that are on the low end of the totem pole that stuck out like a sore thumb, that just stayed the park bitches. And then you had Rodney, who was the, you know what I'm saying, he was the you know what I'm saying, he was the mastermind, you know what I'm saying, he was the brains of the operation. And you see him, he wasn't out there like that. He fronted like he had a legitimate business. He dressed it normal. And this dude is willing to kill or get somebody to kill if need be. So a lot of these big time ballers, you know what I mean, they're almost like father figures to these young dudes who don't have fathers, and then will have them go down the wrong path. And a lot of these young dudes, you know what I'm saying, they're idiots, they're scared when they get locked up. They you know what I'm saying, they become turncoats real quick. They become snitches. They wear wires. And what happens to them? They get killed and shot up over nothing. You know, because they didn't really have the heart to do it, but they wanted all the money and the perks and the spoils and the ability not to work a regular 9 to 5. So hence, I'm telling you right now, legalizing drugs will only have its benefits. And I'm saying, what else I wanted to get into? Also, there was a graphic novel that was created by Aaron McGruger. It's called The Rebirth of a Nation. And even though this was a little cartoon book or whatever, Aaron Kruger didn't draw it. It was illustrated by another fellow. I can't recall his name. But he basically was about East St. Louis. It was a funny story. You guys should check it out. East St. Louis wanted to be an independent nation. And, you know what I'm saying? And the only thing I'm going to refer to that when they was talking about, say, how we're going to end crime, and the dude that the new president of this independent nation, black independent nation, formerly known as East St. Louis, he just says, hey, we legalize drug, that'll end crime. It's as simple as that. Legalize drug and you end a lot of crime and so forth. And there was a president of some South American country. I forgot, I can't recall it. But when he became president, ruler of this country, he said the first thing he did, he legalized all drugs. He said, hey, we're not going to deal with this petty drug war or whatever. We're just going to legalize it and so forth. So yeah, and I tell you, I understand that these series of videos are different than this sector of YouTube where it's just a bunch of roast videos and you know what I'm saying, talking about hair hats and black women. But I dare anybody that can rebuke this video and so forth. No, they can't. So you know what I'm saying, I got more stuff coming, another video in this series. So thanks for watching, and Sally forth.